Welcome back, everyone, to what may be the last of the episodes of our Crystalis playthrough, episode number 8. In the last episode, we made it all the way through the Fortress of Goa. We picked up a couple of critical items. The Bow of the Sun was one of those critical items, and also a couple of very useful ones, in particular the Warrior Ring, which we'll stick with as much as we can. Once we get to the boss fights, it may behoove me to switch to the power ring simply because firing the most powerful shot that we have with each of the swords that we'll end up using is probably more effective against bosses than the quick fire attack of the Warrior Ring. But we'll use the Warrior Ring kind of as our primary weapon going forward for the time being. We also have the Bow of Moon, which combined with the Bow of Sun, which are the two items that we need to get into the very last dungeon before we get to the floating tower. So we have everything I think we need to get to the final encounters. We did get a bunch of magic rings, a couple of fruits of Repun to make sure that we can recover from Nooper status if we need to, and the opal statue, which we hadn't had to use yet. We might need to against one of the bosses that's coming up. Basically what it does is you put it on, and before you die it will revive you, I believe. We may find out the hard way if we have a really tough encounter coming up, but we'll go ahead and switch to battle armor with the Psycho Shield, just to make sure that we don't have any issues getting damaged by one of the status effects getting into this final area. And we'll save, because I need to make a good habit of doing that. I have not been doing that so great in this playthrough, and I don't want it to cost me. Also, in case it wasn't obvious looking at the bottom of the screen there, my experience bar now says 0 because I gained the 16th and final level of experience. So we're doing the highest amount of damage we possibly can with all of our weapons. And, okay, get out of the way, guy. We also now have max health and max magic, so only one thing left to do. Let's head to the last area. By the way, these scorpions here are what I ended up fighting to get the last bit of experience I needed, because they gave a lot of experience very quickly. To gain that last level, I think I fought for maybe 5 minutes in total. They're very difficult to kill, but they also pay out a ton. Now that was very rude, game. I'm trying to get something done here, and you're wasting my magic, my hit points. And we're going to take a second here. I'm going to take a drink of water while I get my magic back, thanks to the Dio's pendant. I don't know what it is. I guess the air has been really dry the last couple of days, but I've been very dehydrated recently. Hopefully it doesn't mean when I'm talking it sounds like I am very lip-smacky. I am super conscious of that problem in all the videos I record. Unfortunately, it's just something that I deal with kind of as an ongoing problem, probably because I drink too much caffeine, but I apologize in advance for any lip-smackiness that occurs in this hopefully last episode of the playthrough of Crystalis. So the area that we entered was Sahara, and if you think of the Sahara, there's probably one thing you think of above everything else, which is pyramids. Oh, come on, game. They had to do that. They just had to. You're not getting me this time. Alright, we're into the pyramid, which in theory is the last area of the game before you get to the final temple. Alright. Oh! Of course, they had to throw these invisible guys at me. Alright. I don't think it really matters which way I go from here, because this entire area is just one big labyrinth. Oh, hello. Okay, he doesn't take damage from that, but I bet he takes damage from fire. What? Now, how does it make sense that a desiccated corpse is damaged by water? Wouldn't he want to get wet? Oh, that was taking way too much effort, and really there's no reason to kill these guys at this point. They don't die. Or, well, they're already dead. What I mean to say is, they don't give me anything that I need. I don't need money. I don't need experience. There's really no reason to waste time trying to kill them. Push them out of the way. Might as well do it with lightning. Not worried about their life. So, we could have spent a whole lot of time walking in circles around the map trying to find this staircase that I'm at right now. The way that the pyramid was designed is that there are staircases on just about every side of this main area. And if you go in them, they'll take you to the other side of the room on a mirrored set of stairs. So if I go left from where I'm at, I'll go into a set of stairs that'll take me on to the right side of this exact same room. And that happens if you go up or down, left or right. The only set of stairs that actually do anything different are the ones that are direction-wise directly south of me and directly north of me. They take me to a room that has a magic ring. We already have all the magic rings I can carry. And the only set of stairs that do anything different are these right here. And they take you to the boss. So I have high hopes that we're going to get through this final area pretty quickly and get into the final dungeon, simply because this was a very short path. But we might have to do something I have not had to do yet. And maybe not. I don't know. We'll see. Oh, you were able to come here? I'm Emperor Draygon. Show me your power. I don't know why I'm saying that like an enthusiastic teenager. I should do it a little more menacing, right? All right, let me do my menacing voice here. Oh, you were able to come here? I'm Emperor Draygon. Show me your power! I think that's about as menacing as I can get. Unfortunately, I was not born with a terribly deep, menacing voice, so I growl as much as I can. All right, oh! Whoa! Okay, 2 hits! Give him a taste of his own medicine. 1 shot with a fully charged Sword of Thunder is all it took. That's why that is the best sword in the game. And with Power Ring equipped, it probably put it way over what I needed. I now have Psycho Armor. And I now fall! So let's look at our stats. With the battle suit on, I had 36 defense. With the final suit, Psycho Armor, I now have 48 defense. So that is the best suit of armor in the game. If I hadn't mentioned before, what the Psycho Armor does is similar to the Dio Pendant. If you stand still, it recovers your, in this case, hit points, and the Dio's Pendant recovers your magic points, which we may end up doing for a couple of minutes here just to recover some status. I may not need to. I may just talk to the wise man here. In fact, let's go ahead and do that just in case it saves us some time. Azteca. Oh, Nub. I'm glad you could come. Nub, you're wounded. Worry not for me, but for Messia. She waits for you on the highest floor. You must use the basement entrance to get there. Here is the Bow of Truth. Use it when you battle the Emperor. Go. Messia's waiting. You now have the Bow of Truth. Go. Do not worry about me. Now go. I don't know if he actually dies. It just seems like you needed to add some gravitas to his speech. The funny thing is I thought there was a path behind him, and it seems that the game is giving me the indication that no, there isn't. So I guess we just want to go south. He didn't recover any of my magic either, so this will be a good time as any to take a drink. And also, give an idea of what I thought was going to happen in the story, and who knows, maybe it still does. It's been a very long time, and I didn't remember how exactly the story went, but I was starting to get the sneaking suspicion, and maybe it pays out here. I didn't look ahead to see what the story does, that Azteca was actually one of the 4 generals in disguise. He had fooled all of the people in Chiron into gathering their forces, and he ratted out the whole group to the forces of Dragonia. That's how they got in, attacked, and killed everyone, and that I was going to find out that if this wasn't Carmine in disguise, it was actually Draygon, which would explain why the Grand Poobah is so much more taller and imposing than all the other wise men. Again, I have nothing to support this. It's just conjecture at this point, but we're going to go ahead and move on from this area. I think we've put enough magic points back on the board there. And let's get going. Okay, so that was a little bit confusing. I guess what we did was we got what we needed out of the primary dungeon there, and we have to go to another dungeon, which is in this same desert, but we're going to fly back to Sahara real quick. I believe the town is actually called Sahara, as strange as that is. These guys out of the way. Here we go. I was of the impression that we would have to fight our way back out to the exit, but it turns out we didn't, so I could just spend the 500 bucks and get all my magic back. Again, this late in the game, having the ability to recover your health and magic slowly over time is more of a nice convenience than a necessity. If you can afford to buy magic rings or just teleport back to a town that you can recover your health at an inn with, there's no reason to use either of the 2 items to gradually restore your health. Okay, so the last area before the floating dungeon is actually behind this surprisingly small pyramid. Whoever the pharaoh was that requested that structure be built in his honor, or at the time of his death, probably a little bit underwhelmed. Probably looked at that and went, hey guys, I thought this was going to be a lot cooler. What happened? Alright, so this is the area that we needed to go to next. This is the... Oh, I didn't even need to do that. I'm an idiot. I keep forgetting that I have armor on that'll recover my health for me. This is what's called the Pyramid Basement. This is actually another mini maze, but not nearly as bad as the Fortress of Goa or the Oasis Cave was. This one's actually pretty straightforward. You who awaken us, you will sleep an endless sleep. Alright, so what they want you to do here is, we have a bow of moon, breaks the one statue, and we have a bow of sun, which breaks the other statue. Easy peasy. And we also have the bow of truth, which we'll have to use against Draygon to reveal his true form, I guess. But we're not quite there yet. We have a little bit of crawling around in the caves to do. Those guys aren't taking damage. Does not matter, just push them out of the way. We're not here to fight them, we're here to get to the boss. There's no benefit to it. And in fact, it looks like they're shooting the spell that turns me into a rabbit, so we don't want to fight you. Or not a rabbit, but a walking slime, I guess. The way I want to go from here is straight ahead. Let's put on the flight spell. So I was having a hard time articulating what I thought the character model for Flight and I guess some of these other models for the magic reminded me of. And what it is if you remember from the late 80s, I guess in early 90s, there was a lot of pop art that I think became associated with the movement to recognize AIDS as a serious pandemic, but not one to ostracize and drive people who suffered from it away. And they did so using art that was very colorful. It had a lot of primary colors, but also had that very simplistic human being kind of design where it was, very round heads and simple features, but it was all like a single color, usually blue, red, yellow. That's kind of what these remind me of. And maybe that's what they were going for. I don't know. It'd be a weird kind of political message to kind of tie onto a video game that had absolutely nothing to do with AIDS, but I don't know. I didn't make the game. I'm just playing it. Alright, since you don't take damage from that, what do you take damage from? Not that. Not that. I do not believe that. That was a gigantic waste of time. Screw you, guy. Whoa, okay. Let's get over him. Stop. I think this is where we encounter the final boss before we get to the floating fortress. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a little breather, recover our magic. And refresh myself with a little water. Also talk about where the channel's going kind of after we finish this long play. Obviously, if you're watching the weekly episodes of the core series Nubs Collection, we're still doing Sega Master System games. This game here was released on Nintendo, so obviously we're getting towards the very end of the games on Sega Master System. I believe when this releases, let's see, 3, 4, 5, 6, we will have started the very first week of Nubs Collection episodes where we will be looking at Nintendo games. This is going to be ending right at that same time, and I had been doing a lot of off-day episodes of like the long plays like this on Mondays and Wednesdays, and other kind of one-off projects that I had been working on. That will continue, although I don't think I'll be doing it necessarily every single off day or odd day where I was doing it Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. What I may do is I may just do them on Mondays and maybe not even every single week, just to kind of spread it out and give me a little bit of a breather trying to get these episodes out, because I have been putting in a lot of time trying to crank these out. Not so much recording them, because the recording usually only takes about an hour, but in the case of doing the editing work, uploading, making sure I had all the checks and stuff that I need to on the back end of uploading a YouTube video, that stuff can be very time consuming, especially if you're putting out multiple episodes every week. So I may just give myself a little bit of a break, focus on doing the core episodes for a little while. I do have some episodes coming up where I will probably have a few more guests. I think this will be coming out after 2 episodes where I do have some guests joining me for the recording, and I will be recording some others that'll probably be spread out into the future, so it's not just one big block of me shouting over my friends and then a long stretch of me just talking myself into a microphone by myself. But yeah, we're getting ready to move on from the Sega Master System. It was a system that was not without its problems, but not without its charms in certain cases for some of the games that we looked at. But now I'm just babbling while I stand here not doing anything of note. I put on the power ring. have the best shield, the best armor, the best sword. So really the only thing left is, let's go fight the boss. Draygon. Alright, we'll do the voice again. Hold on. You, nub. You shall receive the wrath of my fury for taking my kingdom from me! Oh, okay. He wasn't kidding. So I don't know if I have to use this right now or at the end of the battle. We'll go ahead and use it right now just in case. The arrow pierces the heart of the Emperor and his true image is revealed. So I guess I did need to do that. Ooh. Alright, guy, you think you're bad? I'll give you a taste of my misfit love! That's not doing anything. I gotta use another one? Alright, let's do this real quick. Let's put on the warrior ring. And see if I can hit him with this. Okay, I hope that's not Nooper! Ow! Ow, ow, ow! Okay, that's not doing anything. Maybe I just needed to wait until his core was open to do damage. And of course, in the meantime, I'm not taking those shots while I have a chance. That was sloppy, but we'll get him. I know what I have to do now, which is just walk away from him until he does his laser beams, and then I can hit him with my lightning beams. Go! I don't think that did anything. Alright, well, let's try each of the weapons, and maybe one of them will be the one that I need to do. Also, do I have the power ring on? I do not. Yeah, I'm not sure what they're trying to telegraph here. If there's, like, one specific spell I should use while he's doing the laser beams, or if it's just all kind of... I think that did damage! It certainly looked like it did something. Oh yeah, that hit him. But now he's hiding again. I would have thought the lightning sword would have been the weapon to use here, but maybe he goes through phases. That's certainly a possibility. It looks like it's working. Uh-oh. I may not be able to launch this. Well, we'll try. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, so be it. Ouch. Okay. He almost noopered me again. No! Aw, crap. That was, really tough. Alright. Okay, thank you, game. Let me continue. Right back where we were before. I think I still have all my items. I gotta put that on. And let me take a peek at a guide here and see what they're telling me. Okay, they're still saying that hitting him with thunder is the way to go, but it didn't look like it was hurting him. So maybe I'm just not understanding the sound cues that I was hearing. Haha, I didn't let you do it. Oh. I don't know why, but these look like little balls of, like, scrambled eggs, kind of. So it's like the way that the forces of Draygon wanted to fight me was by throwing breakfast foods at me. Nope. Nope. Okay, guy. That's a cool trick. Now do something different. Oh my god, come on! I just want to hit you with this. Ouch! No! Get him! Alright, let me use this. I think it damaged him. It sounded like it. Be a shame to get all this way out here and have to use the very first sword you use in the game just because they were like, you haven't used the Sword of Wind in a while. Come on. Well, at least it didn't hit me with the spell. Got him! Alright, so it was the Sword of Thunder. For some reason, the game was giving me bad audio cues that made it sound like that was not the way to hurt him. Uh-oh. Why would they teleport Azteca here if he's dying? That's very morbid. Azteca. Good job. This is the way it was supposed to be. I must explain. I didn't want evil in... Oh, so he was Draygon. All right, that was very strange. I'll stop doing the weird voice. I didn't want evil in my mind, and I tried to push all corrupting thoughts away. But Draygon began to read my negative ideas and became absorbed by them. The fact that you and Messia are awake means the tower cycle has begun. There's so little time. Kenzu. Hold on! Try! Azteca. Kenzu, I'm sorry. I feel Draygon's evil was my fault. He saw the temptation of using his power for self-glory and evil, but I could do nothing. Now we must be apart. I'm sorry. Azteca! Azteca! Messia. Nub! I'm now in the tower. Not much time. Enter into the next room. I'll take you to the tower. Oh, the game's taking control from me. Alright. We are finally in the last area of the entire game. So I hope I don't need a ton of extra magic rings because we don't have a way out of here as far as I know. This is it. I hope I can save. I sure can. Alright, so worst case scenario, if we got to retry this area a few times, we don't have to worry about losing progress. Ooh, look at the graphics. The clouds are moving. Again, one of the conceits that the game sets up is that we're actually in the distant future, and that the world used to be far more advanced technologically, but because of wars, everything got destroyed, and we reverted back to a simpler age, one that had swords and sorcery and all that other good stuff. So this is kind of a representation of where the world was before the wars that kind of destroyed everything. Also, I'm kind of walking back and forth and killing monsters because if I read correctly, you have to get some of your progress in this final dungeon. I may be wrong. Maybe I just go in the door. Nope. I was right. Look at this. Look at this. Look at these guys. Audibly just a hot mess of noises at this point. I'm sorry. That's the way the game's gonna go for a while. Alright, so I think I just heard the sound cue that means I can go up. Was not the clearest sound in the world, but it was that little ring, ring, ring sound. Before we do anything else, we're gonna take another quick pause, let the health and magic come back over time! No, we're not! No, we're not! No, why? Why, game? Why do you hate life and happiness? So much for my plan. I thought after that I was supposed to be out, but apparently not. Ah, there it is. Alright, so we may have to burn a magic ring after all. At the very least, I can just wait a couple seconds to get my health back. The magic, we may just have to waste a ring to get back up to normal. I don't want to be left defenseless if this guy shows up again. Jerk. Okay. Better. Nub, Messia, these messages are for you. You both were part of a team of scientists who created this tower. As the most critical link, you were preserved to witness our future race, to judge if there's hope for humanity. When the tower began operating, your life systems were engaged and you both were awakened. Okay. And I, for one, would welcome our scientist overlords. Need the magic right now, so let's just leave it unless I get to a spot where I'm starting to take too much damage. Jerk. Stand here, recover the health a bit. Oh, there we go. I think these are the guys that you have to trigger in order to advance the area. And the way it's going to work is you kill enough of them and then the stairs appear that you can go up to the next floor. The bummer is there's a sword that we're going to get here that will make my attacks much more powerful, and fighting these guys, I think, trivial, but we haven't gotten it yet. No! Unbelievable. This game is testing my patience at the end. Alright, so this isn't going to go as smooth as I thought it was. I recalled this area being a lot easier than it's turning out to be. This thing is the worst part of it. Get out of here. This game had been comparatively, that's the word I'm looking for, comparatively a cakewalk up to this point. I mean, there were a couple of boss fights that got the best of me, but just fighting regular grunts had not been a challenge up to this point. Now I'm starting to get hosed. How about we try this? It's gonna put a little more damage behind each shot, and maybe it'll speed things up. Possibly. Damn it. Piss off! Tired of you. There we go. Alright. That weird screen flash means that the stairs opened. And also you heard the sound I was talking about earlier. Alright. I hate just standing here and wasting time, but I don't want to have to burn a magic ring for each floor that we do. You jerks! Stop it! Come on! Alright, first things first, let's get the storm bracelet off so I can... No. Turn it off. Thank you. So I can do this, and when they attack again, because he will attack again, I can just push him back. So I didn't think I was going to need the Psycho Armor or the Dio's Pendant. That they were going to be nice conveniences, but not critical. And now I'm starting to rethink that. Alright, well, I think that's enough for now. Yes, I remember what you said last time. Thank you. Honestly, I think the warrior ring is a safer bet at this point. Having that constant charge shot is just a much more useful item, even if it takes longer to kill the enemies. Playing keep away is the way I need to do this. Come on, game. No, you're not getting a shot on me. Ouch. I hate these flying things. The Ed 209s I can deal with, or whatever their model number was. The walking mech thing from RoboCop. I can deal with you guys. You're not too bad. Those flyers, oh, they can go straight to hell. Get out of here. There we go. Get you out of the way, you piece of garbage. No. No. Look at him running away. Alright, cool. Whatever. Get my health back before I move on. Oh, no, you don't. Alright, let's go. Did you find Azteca? He was an android created by us, really, and programmed to lead the people in a positive direction. We can only hope he will succeed. We use all of our resources to create him. If he fails, then it will be up to you to decide their fate. I don't know how to tell you this. Whatever's talking to me, presumably a program. He failed. it. Gotcha. Oh, sorry, I've been sitting all day, so I'm starting to get a little sore. Alright, we're getting you down. Come on. Quit fighting back. Just die. Be a good robot and die. There they are. The game can't handle so many sprites on the screen at once. It just kind of freaks out. Alright, we got some of them dead. Now, get back to your corner. I'll tell you when you can leave. There we go. Next level. Get out of here. I didn't say you could help. You need to go away. Alright, so this is the second to last floor we're getting ready to go to. Here we go. Do I go in the door? I think I go in the door. I do not go in the door. Not yet. I go in this door. There we go. Nub. Messia. Messia. Nub! What an exchange. You finally caught up with me. Unsheathe your swords. Okay, I'm glad she said swords, plural, because that could have been misinterpreted many ways. Or the tower's attack will begin. Alright, so there are my 4 swords. And guess what? Now they are Crystalis. Da-na-na-na-na-na. You must destroy Dyna, the central computer. If you succeed, stick Crystalis into its main reactor. Okay. It's the only way. We have so little time. Now hurry. Alright. So this is what it does now. Nothing, apparently, unless you charge it all the way. Which also does nothing. I think you have to actually be out here to do it. Oh, maybe not. Maybe you just can't do anything. Ooh, look at that graphic. That's cool. You lose all of your swords and the power bracelets. It may just be that they're telling me to do this. Or not. Let's leave it on the warrior ring in case that is the better option. And also, this is the final area. We're at the end. And we're not too far from the end of a normal episode. If I can pause. There we go. Ah, come on, game. I wonder if I can save in here. Only one way to find out. No, they won't let me do it. They're like, no. You need to beat the game now. Alright, fine. Be that way. This is it. Final encounter. Nub, Messia. By the time this is activated, we will no longer be alive. We hope we have made the right decisions, and that all people will realize their mistakes before it's too late. Nub, Messia. You don't have to keep saying the names. You could just say, I don't know, warriors? As old friends, we wish your safety. Good luck. Alright, thank you. Wow. Look at that shot. Ouch. Can I hit those things? Don't think so. Ah, that's it. That's game, ladies and gentlemen. Recover my magic. And then they said I gotta jam the sword inside of the computer. Crystalis is thrust into the reactor. I think this is supposed to be program speak or robot speak here. Confirmed. Meltdown. Self-destruct has been initiated. Nub! Messia! Did you get hurt? Nah, I'm fine. The danger is now over, Nub. It would be nice to rest easy from now on, without the threat of evil at our backs. I'm gonna pinch my nose for this part. Final countdown initiated. Evacuate. Explosives activated. Evacuate. 30, 29, 28, 27. Time to leave. I'm with you. I don't know why I decided to go so silly with the voiceover work there. I'm ruining the gravitas of this final moment. Now this legendary conflict, along with the people's despair, have ultimately ended. Nub and Messia, two fearless youths we can never forget. This will be a legend forever remembered to maintain peace and humanity, and peace will remain. Alright, we did it! Now we get to enjoy the credits while I take a drink of water. I'm thirsty still. Aw, it's our buddy Flipper. Hopefully he's recovered from the defiling I've given him so many times. I don't know who that's supposed to be, but it's a nice shot. Maybe it's Akahana. He recovered. Now he gets to wander the fields again. I would guess that's me and Messia? Nub and Messia? I don't know. And they're chasing Dio. Come back, Dio. We love you too. The pyramid of diminutive stature. That's an actual, like, side-by-side comparison. The trees are much taller than it. Jeff Peters. Everyone else, probably from Japan, but not Jeff. Some nice character models there. The end. All right, we did it. We beat Crystalis. It took 8 episodes to complete the task, but we made it all the way to the end. We destroyed Dinah, and now civilization will always be back to a simpler time. Progress? All right, that's the end of this long play. I don't know if there were a ton of great ones that I was going to have on Nintendo, unfortunately. Well, we might try 1 or 2 more, but what we may end up doing is make some more fun one-off episodes for the Nintendo games, but we'll probably come back with a long play in the future. Haven't decided which one yet. I had my mind on maybe 1, but that would probably be a game where we just try to beat the whole thing in one sitting. But we'll see that in a future episode. I think we're just going to go ahead and wrap up the Crystalis long play with a little review phase. Like we do with all the standard Nubs Collection episodes, we like to do the good, the bad, and the ugly to review the game. The good was, I think there was an interesting loop for progression for the character. You had to find swords that had unique properties. They would either allow you to blow open pathways that were blocked or freeze narrow channels to cross, or in the case of the lightning sword, or Sword of Thunder rather, it just had a spread shot, so it made it the most useful offensive weapon in the game. Second, with the second probably being the Sword of Fire, because of that long, thin shot of flame that you could use. That was fun. Leveling wasn't nearly as bad as I remember it being in the past. Even when I had to go off camera and do a little bit of grinding to get the character back up, usually the process of gaining levels was no more than 15 or 20 minutes for each level. Probably because I was making sure I moved to an area where the enemies were going to provide a good amount of experience. And when I was a dumb kid, I probably just stuck in the same area forever, getting maybe a point or 2 of experience instead of moving on, which is what you should do in games like this. As far as the bad, I think we had already talked about this at length, but the dungeon layouts were simply not intuitive. There were a lot of areas, especially when we got to Mount Hydra, where it was just walk down a narrow cavern passage. Maybe you turn left, maybe you turn right. Does it look different from the previous area? No, not really. And the enemy layouts were not the same each time you entered a single area, so you couldn't go, well, I remember when I came into this area, the mace-wielding lizard man was up there on the left side of the end of this passage, so if I see that, I know I'm here. No, they respawn, and they respawn wherever the game decides you've hit a random number from their random number generation, so an enemy has to appear in this part of the map. Without a map, that made going through these dungeons near the end almost impossible. Without the use of the map going into the Great Pyramid, the fact that you had these endless repeating passages on the left and right side of the map or in the top and bottom of the map, I probably would have spent 15, 20 minutes walking around randomly trying to figure out where I was going. And I had to pull up a map, and I found, hey, there's one passage right here that you need to go to, and skipped a whole lot of needless wandering. So that was definitely the bad. As far as the ugly, the sound effects that they used, not only for charging up your weapon, but shooting your beam, not only the volume, but the sound that they used for both of those effects was very grating. And just to drive that point home, in the last area of the game where I was trying to fight the robots, whatever they were supposed to be, and I had to resort to putting on the warrior ring and just mashing that attack button, and you hear the blasting sound. I got lucky where I could find a spot in a couple of instances where I could just kind of hit the enemy and you wouldn't hear that sound, but firing it over and over and over just proves to be a very obnoxious sound. One that I think if they had been testing this game in a group, and having someone go, is this annoying? Someone would have said, absolutely, make this a lot softer sound. Or at least something that's not going to drive you nuts hearing it thousands of times before the end of the game. So that was very much the ugly of this game. We'll do a review for this game. I think when we did the Legend of Zelda review, I gave it 8 Randars, and of course we do our Randar. We do our review score in Randars because Randar is the best. Do I think this is better than Legend of Zelda? I don't think it's better than Legend of Zelda because that game, not only because of the many different tropes and ideas that it innovated and created, it had a map for each of the dungeons. You might have had to have walked to get the map in the dungeon, or in some cases, if you just walked around enough, you unlocked every single room there. But I think that one key thing puts it over this game. That's not to say that this isn't a fun game, and that there were elements that made it, in some cases, a better experience than playing The Legend of Zelda. But the biggest problem this game has is there is no map, and it is too spread out, and the dungeons are too samey to make it a better game than Legend of Zelda. So if I have to give this a score, I'm going to give it 7 Randars. Not having a map when you're a kid playing through this game probably would have taken what we did in 8 hours and expanded it out to 15 to 20 hours because it's so hard to figure out in some cases where you are in the game. And I think that is a serious negative for the quality of this game. Looking back on it from 31 years in the future, it would be hard to recommend this game to anyone who wants to do it blind without any assistance whatsoever, because I think going into some of those dungeons would probably get to the point where you just say, I don't want to do this anymore. It's too confusing. So that's going to do it for our long play of Crystalis. If you made it through all 8 episodes, thank you for watching. I know in some cases they can be a little bit dry if I'm kind of tired and I'm just not talking much during the episodes. I try to keep it interesting. I try to talk. I try to be lively while I'm doing some of these. But, sometimes I'm just trying to get through it to get to the end of the game. And I think there was some parts in the earlier episodes of this series that I was kind of like, this is not as good as I remember it being. But towards the end, I actually started having fun again with it, where I felt like I haven't seen this in a long time, and I'm actually enjoying what I'm doing, even with the difficulties with figuring out where I needed to go in some of the dungeons. But thank you for watching. If you watched all 8 episodes, or, if you just tuned in for the last one to see how it all wrapped up, and you didn't actually watch much of the first episode and had no idea what the story conceit was, and then get to this part and like, robots? What? Go back and watch the other episodes. Maybe you'll understand why we ended up fighting a giant robot heart, basically. But thanks everyone for watching, and I will see you next time.